Hey everybody, PK Squid here and welcome to the video. So it's 2024 and Happy New Year to all. I hope you all had a good year, spend time with the family and enjoy yourself. And I know I'm a little late, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm glad you're spending the new year watching me. So we already have an interesting start to the year. And it's in the form of an apology video. And it's coming from one person you would least expect it from, and that is Yandere Dev. And if you don't know who he is, well, you know, it's a long story, but he's the creator of this game named Yandere Simulator, and before that he went by the username, I'm probably gonna butcher this, but bear with me, Eva Zfon, and he was inspired by Mike Z, the developer of Skullgirls. You know, Mike was his hero, and he looked up to him. He decided to make a game before Yandere Simulator called Lunar Scythe, and he showed it to Mike Z, only for him to be unimpressed by it and offering criticism of the game. And because of his ego, he doesn't take criticism very well, and he became depressed for a while. Then he decided to continue making games, and hopefully one day he'll become better than Mike Z. But if you're familiar with Yandere Dev, then you know that's not how the story ends. And if you don't believe me, you can go to the Skullgirls forum and see his posts weren't deleted. They're still there, so go check it out for yourself. And after that, later, he would make a post on 4chan pitching the idea of his new games that would become Yandere Simulator. And the goal of the game is you play as a high schooler, you're in love with someone, and you do whatever it takes to be with them. Like murdering your romantic rivals and hiding their bodies so nobody would suspect that you did a thing. And I'm pretty sure there's more to it, but you know, that's just a TLDR. And the game was pretty huge back in like 2014. You had creators like Cub Scouts, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and even PewDiePie playing the game. And I think it's interesting to note that, you know, the game has been in development since 2014. And you can go to Yandere Simulator's website and go to the blog section, and you can see the archives that they start from April 2014 to now. And he's been in controversy after controversy, like receiving money from his fans to go into development of Yandere Simulator, only to spend that money on other things that's not the game, like buying multiple Nintendo Switches and apparently partnering with the studio Tiny Build and canceling that partnership for whatever reason. Hiring another coder only for that coder to rewrite some of the code, improving the loading time of the game. But Yandere Dev, he didn't understand the code, so he fired the person so he wouldn't have to rewrite the entire game's code. And these things probably would have helped make the game come out faster and probably come out as a better product in general. But because of Yandere Dev and his ego, he kind of sabotaged himself. So you're probably not going to see Yandere Simulator for a long time, if ever, actually. And he kind of addresses them in his blog and Patreon, but he only gives his side of the story, so make of that what you will. But those controversies I could care less about, because they're nothing compared to the more serious ones, like him accused of being a groomer. Now, in September of 2023, he would make a post on his blog confirming that he did talk inappropriate to a 16-year-old, you know, saying vulgar stuff and making adult jokes. And people thought, you know, that was that. How are you going to worm your way out of this one? Admitting to something like that, you're done. It doesn't matter how much accountability you take when, you know, it's something as bad as talking inappropriately to a minor. But, you know, here we are, a new year, and Yandere Dev decided to make a video talking about the allegation. And you heard that right, allegation, as in only one allegation out of the millions of other allegations he has. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So, you know, let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Yandere Dev, the developer of Yandere Simulator. Last year, an extremely serious allegation was made about me that I would like to address. The accusation is that I attempted to groom an underage fan of my game. I will take accountability and admit that I did discuss inappropriate topics with a fan. However, the accusation that I deliberately attempted to groom this fan is false. In this video, I would like to apologize for what I feel I should apologize for, but I would also like to give you the full story so that you know what is true and what isn't true. Let's start at the beginning. Last year, a fan of my game contacted me and wanted to chat. Usually, when a fan tries to talk with me, I just tell them that I'm too busy. But this person seemed really nice and friendly and funny, so I decided, you know what, sure, let's talk. She let me know right off the bat that she was 16, but I didn't see any problem with that. When I was 16, I had online friends that were in their 20s and 30s, so it just didn't feel weird to me.
Okay, so right off the start, he says that she mentioned she was 16 and doesn't see any problem with it because he had older online friends when he was younger. But that is weird. You're an adult. You should be friends with people your own age. You shouldn't be trying to make friends with minors. If she did reach out, then you should have kept it short and professional. Say something like, "Oh, thanks for the kind words and thanks for supporting the game," and end it there. And what exactly about this email was different than the thousands of other emails you received? I thought you were too busy with the game to be responding to fan emails. I just think it's strange and coincidental that, out of all the emails, he chose this one to respond to, and, that person just so happened to be, a 16-year-old girl.
In the beginning, our conversations were normal, but she had a kind of adult sense of humor, and every now and then she would bring up a topic or ask a question that wasn't really appropriate. When this would happen, I wasn't entirely comfortable with it, but I rationalized to myself that it was no big deal and just kept talking with her.
Okay, if she was saying adult things, then you should have said something instead of going along with it. That's one of the worst things you could do in a situation like this. I don't know why you're the uncomfortable one here when you're the adult. You could have stopped the conversation at any moment, but you didn't. You kept going along with it. And nobody's gonna feel bad for you because you keep making these dumbass decisions. You're the adult, and it's your job to set boundaries.
Eventually, I must have said something that sounded like a red flag to her, because at some point she started to record our conversations just in case I turned out to be some kind of predator. She showed our conversations to a YouTuber, and the YouTuber decided, yep, this guy seems like a groomer. We need to expose him. From what I've been hearing, it kind of sounds like the YouTuber started coaching the girl on how to manipulate me into saying things that would make me look bad.
Oh, surprise, surprise, the YouTuber thinks you're a groomer because you're talking about adult things with a minor and he wants to expose you for it. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. If any other person was in a similar position to Yandere Dev, I would also want them to be exposed too so people could know that, this person is a creep and you gotta stay the hell away from them. And I like how he frames it as if they're manipulating him to say things to make him look bad when this entire thing is his fault. It doesn't matter if she's baiting him to say these things. What matters is he fell for the bait. And I feel like if any other normal adult was in the same situation, as soon as she said an adult joke or things got NSFW, they would have stopped it then and there. And, this wouldn't even be happening now. Again, she's 16 and he's 35. I don't know how she manipulated him to say anything. Maybe she had her intelligence and charisma maxed out to 10, or she had that talk no jutsu. I don't know.
Which wasn't what the girl wanted. But you don't have to just take my word for it. The girl has written a statement about the entire situation, giving her side of the story. I've put a link to it in the description below. I won't tell you what to think about it. You're welcome to read it for yourself and draw your own conclusions.
So as evidence is a statement made by the girl, but interesting enough, apparently Yandere Dev coached her into making this statement, as you can see from these screenshots from people who were previously in contact with her. I'm not going to read all of this, you could pause and read it if you want. So this is his only piece of evidence, but he coached the girl into making it to make it seem less bad. But knowing this just proves that he's not sorry, he's only sorry he got caught. And he's just trying to cover his own ass. And ironically, he's the one doing all the manipulating.
So, with the YouTuber apparently instructing the girl on how to steer our conversations in an inappropriate direction, our discussions got pretty weird. I wasn't comfortable with it and I tried to express that, but like an idiot, I just went along with it anyway. Because I had gotten into the habit of being really candid around this girl and just casually responding to whatever she said, it was very easy for her to get recordings of me answering questions I shouldn't have answered and discussing topics I should not have discussed. And the YouTuber then used those recordings to make a 40-minute long video accusing me of being a groomer. Out of respect for all of the people in the world who have actually been groomed, we should use the word grooming correctly. Grooming is when an adult tries to establish a relationship with a child with the intention of exploiting or abusing the child. That doesn't describe what I did. I didn't develop a friendship with the girl for that reason. That wasn't my intention. I did not attempt to establish a romantic or sexual relationship with the girl.
It's okay, everyone. He's not a groomer. They just talked about things an adult and child shouldn't be talking about with each other. That's it. Just talking. There was no pee and vagine, so it's okay. No one was groomed.
But after having my behavior explained to me as commonly associated with romance, I can understand how it was interpreted that way. I feel like it's worth mentioning that a lot of the remarks I made only sound bad when they're out of context. For example, there was one time when the girl jokingly said, You should make an OnlyFans. And I said, no, that's dumb. No one would ever want to see that. And she said something like, come on, it's so easy to make money on OnlyFans. And when I heard that, I thought, whoa, that's a little concerning. Don't tell me that social media is brainwashing this generation to think that they should just go directly into porn the second they turn 18 because it's the best way to get rich quick. That's a little concerning. I wanted to know if she was joking or if she was being serious. So I asked her, are you planning to start an OnlyFans? And of course, the YouTuber used the recording of me saying, are you planning to start an OnlyFans? To frame me as someone who initiates horrifically inappropriate discussions with children, which is just completely dishonest.
If you don't want to be called cute, then stop being so cute. It's simple logic. And I thought it was just normal.
That's not normal size.
Oh.
No, I think average size one of those in the US is like 5.5.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know how to respond like that. I don't know what to say about it. I don't have one, so I'm not like a penis expert.
A normal, mentally healthy adult would have just blocked the girl immediately after the very first time she said something inappropriate. But I didn't. And having to face that fact was a wake-up call that made me realize I had deteriorated mentally. So, after this whole controversy happened, I decided to take some time to just reflect and try to figure out how I had turned into the type of person who would let something like this happen. After talking it over with a lot of different people, I think I've developed an understanding of exactly how things got to this point, and I think I have the vocabulary to explain it now, too. Over the past 10 years, I neglected absolutely every aspect of my well-being in favor of working on my video game project. I almost never left my house for any reason. I had no social life whatsoever, and I had no one that I could call a true friend. A lot of people warned me that they could see my mental health deteriorating and that I was exhibiting a lot of self-destructive behavior, and I just ignored all of them. I was lonely and depressed and miserable and getting worse every year and doing nothing to make any of it better and ignoring all of the warning signs that were being given to me. When you neglect your psychological and social needs that badly for that long, you eventually become so desperate for social interaction and positive affirmation that you become willing to have inappropriate interactions you shouldn't be having, as long as it's fulfilling the social needs that have gone completely unmet for years.
Okay, so now we're using the mental health excuse, and he's using this time to self-reflect, and it's probably a little too late for that. He should have done it before he started interacting with minors, and there are plenty of people who aren't in the right place mentally, but they manage not to do anything, inappropriate with kids. No problem.
Acknowledging all of this was step one. Step two was determining what I would have to change about my life in order to repair the damage that I had done to my psyche over the past 10 years. So, I decided to just step back from game development for 3 months to just work on myself.
Yeah, take 3 months away from the game. It's not like it's been in development for 10 years or anything. 3 months is nothing, and besides, I'm pretty sure we all accepted the fact that this game is never coming out, so take however long you need.
It's worth mentioning that sometime after this entire controversy started, 2 images started to circulate. These images are fake Discord screenshots depicting interactions between me and children that have never actually happened. These images were either created in Photoshop or made by an impersonator using my username and avatar. This isn't the way that people speak to other people. This is the way that you write dialogue when you're trying to make a comical image for the internet to laugh at. These are not real.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was funny because of the absurdity of it, and I can understand why people believe these since this is Yandere Dev and he is a creep. But yeah, this is why it's hard for me to believe Discord messages because they're so easy to fake. All you have to do is change your name and profile pic to someone you don't like, and it's so easy to slander them. And faking messages doesn't really do anybody any good, it just makes it harder for any victims in a similar situation. Harder to believe, so yeah, don't do that. So 5 days after the video was uploaded, he decided to set it on private. I guess it wasn't getting the response he was hoping for, so that's why he wanted to private it, and he made a community post about it, and it says, Where'd the video go? The video has been set to private. I did not wish to do this. Unfortunately, the video is putting a specific individual at risk. Not me, someone else. I felt that the video was extremely important and I really wanted it to remain public. However, as long as it's causing tangible harm to someone's life, I couldn't allow it to remain visible. Perhaps this will change one day in the future, but for now it must remain private. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who watched the video, accepted my apology, forgave me, and encouraged me to keep bettering myself and working on the game. And he didn't really say who's being put at risk, but I'm guessing it's Jane, and I don't really know how he expects anyone to believe that the victim is being attacked instead of him. I just think it's really ironic that he cares about her, after the situation, but whatever. And I don't know what this trend is of uploading apologies then getting rid of them a couple of days later. Like, what are you expecting? For people to watch your video then all of a sudden do a complete 180 and support you? Nah, man, that's not how this works. Things like this takes time for people to digest and make up their minds. This isn't making you look any better. It just proves that this is a pathetic attempt at trying to recover whatever reputation you had left and trying to manipulate the audience back on your side. And throughout the video, he never really debunks anything or provide any real evidence. The only evidence he provided was a fake Discord screenshot and a statement from the girl who he coached her into making. So, that means nothing. And sure, he quote-unquote takes accountability and apologizes, but I don't think talking sexually to a minor is something you can apologize for, especially since it's obvious he's only sorry that he got caught. And he only addresses that, but he doesn't really go over his previous controversies like him scamming his fans and allegedly dating a 14-year-old when he was 20. Overall, this is the first apology of 2024 and it's terrible. It's just excuses, lying, and victim blaming. I don't really know how he expects us to think that it's the 16-year-old's fault for tricking him, even though he's 30 and could have stopped the conversation at any time, and he could have set boundaries, but he didn't. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because it's Yandere Dev, and I'm happy he made this because now a lot of bigger YouTubers are talking about it, and now people are aware of how creepy his behavior is, and hopefully something gets done about this. So yeah, happy new year, thanks for watching the video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. See ya.